Yeah, good morning. Happy to be back. Happy to be around the guys, be around my staff. Incredibly proud of how um, basically the program ran, over the 10 days I was gone. And obviously, with the guys competing as hard as they did and being able to be 2-0 right now, it says a lot about all the work that our student athletes have invested in the last 4 to 5 months. Moving forward, obviously, a huge matchup Friday night with Murray State. They're a championship program. They're a type of program in terms of their postseason and the banners that they've had recently is where we aspire to be. And they've got some talented players, starting with Tevin Brown and KJ Williams. Obviously, those two guys really get them going. But they're a team. They're extremely well coached. They run great stuff offensively, and they play with tremendous energy and intensity on the defensive end. They're coming off a great win against Austin P, and they're going to be ready to go. So we're really looking forward to the challenge Friday night.
Okay, thank you, Coach. We'll start with questions from Jason first.
Hey, Coach. What's it been like for you to now finally kind of get back in the rhythm for first game on the sidelines? What's it been like, I guess, the last few days, and where are you mentally?
I'm great mentally. I'm refreshed, and I'm excited. I'm excited to coach this group of guys and be on the sideline and be able to support them and be able to help them throughout the game on Friday night. So, I can't wait. I know our guys are excited to play again in the Banterra Center.
For the fans, they've seen your brother coach, but is there similar styles? Are we going to see something different? What if the fans expect to see maybe when you're coaching Friday?
They'll see the same thing they saw from me last year. And for my brother, I think, he did a great job keeping his poise. He was composed throughout the SEMO game, throughout the Quincy game. So I think there's a little bit similarity in that way for sure.
You mentioned they'll see what you did last year, but there's a lot of new faces with this group. So from what you've learned on video and leading up to the practices before you tested positive, what do you see with this group, and how excited are you to kind of, interchange the lineups and you can go with kind of what you've seen from your brother?
Yeah, I think this is a different team from last year's team, obviously. I think we got some different pieces. We can do a little bit things differently offensively and defensively. We're still trying to figure out rotations and lineups and what combinations work the best. And that's just part of the process over the non-conference schedule heading into conference. You try to get a feel for the guys and in terms of who plays best together, going against different offenses, different defenses. So I think over the next 4 to 5 games, hopefully we continue to figure that out for ourselves.
And the last thing for me, without giving away any secrets, Murray looked like two different teams, one against Middle Tennessee and then certainly a different team at home against Austin P. What did you kind of learn from that video, I guess, without giving away some secrets?
Yeah, I think the game against Middle Tennessee was just kind of one of those games where they probably didn't play as well as they wanted to or should have. And you have a couple of those games throughout the year, but I don't think that's their true identity by any means. I think their wins against Illinois State, against Austin P are the type of team who they are, and which is a very high-level team that's capable of beating really good teams around the country. So, we know the challenge we have Friday night, and I know our guys are going to be ready for it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Jason.
Okay, next we'll move to Jeff Goodwell with questions. Bryan, what was your involvement with the team? How involved? What was sort of your day-to-day while you were away, but obviously still doing your best to keep your thumbprints on this team?
Yeah, a lot of Zooms with the staff, with the preparation. Obviously being at our first 2 games of the year, just the game prep, the scouting, making sure we're on the same page in terms of how we want to guard things, what actions we want to run, and the practice planning along with that stuff. So I think that was definitely my biggest involvement, and just touching base with the guys individually, obviously all the players, just relationship-wise, making sure that they're good, that they're excited to play, that mentally they're ready to go. So.
What was it like for you to just have to watch and have absolutely no control for those 40 minutes or 45 minutes, I guess, of the game in case?
Yeah, it wasn't enjoyable. The result was very enjoyable. I think what was it, a 6:30 game, so 8:30 on for the rest of the night was a great night in my house. But those 2 hours, it was just a unique experience. Being there, watching your team, and wishing you could be out there to help them, but knowing that those guys are prepared, that they're ready, that the staff has everything under control. So. Like I said, it was a great win for us. It was a win that I've said it before in the last week that I don't think our program last year probably could have had, but I think because of the returning guys that we had with Lance, Marcus, Trent, Ben, and then having that same staff, having Brendan, Javon, Pat, Connor, Robbie, all those guys pitch in, and really just it's kind of one of those culture wins, and I'm proud of the program for being able to pull that out.
With the way the summer went for really everybody across the country, player development programs were kind of thrown into the lap of the players, and they needed to improve themselves, maybe without as much help as usual from coaching staffs. For a guy like Marcus, and obviously such a great freshman year that started off great already this year, what sort of leap have you seen him make from year one to year two?
Yeah, I think Marcus has done a great job with his body, first and foremost. Over the quarantine period from March to July, he did a great job at home working out, being on the track, getting faster. And then the basketball part, I think he's more comfortable with different coverages right now, a little bit in the post. And then just that first step in the ball handling, I think, has improved as well. So I think he's becoming more of a complete player, as time goes on for him here.
What jumped out off the tape, I guess, most from Tuesday night with Murray's win over Austin Peay?
I think their defense took it up a notch. I think their pressure, their intensity. I thought it was a complete game for Murray. I think offensively and defensively. That's the type of team they are. And we know that, we understand that, and our guys have to be ready. To start at 6:30. We can't afford to start at 6:45. We can't afford to start at 7. We got to be ready to go from the start.
They have really got a lot of depth this year, really in all spots. Matt can roll out, 8 or 9 guys. Is that I guess, how does that sort of change maybe what you guys want to do defensively, that it's not like, hey, we just have to stop that guy and we're going to be okay? It really put the onus on the whole team defense, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They have multiple ways to beat you. And I think their depth also helps with their defense because they keep guys fresh and they're able to play with tremendous amount of energy throughout the game. And I think that helps them as well. And we know, we can't just stop Brown, or we can't just stop Williams, or we can't just stop Hill. That, they got 5 or 6 guys that can score 15 or 20 points. And we got to make sure that we're playing team defense on our end.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. We'll move next to Tom Hefferman.
Hi, Bryan. They, playing Demond Robinson and KJ at the same time, you're not going to play a lot of teams that have 2 really good bigs at the same time. Just how comfortable are you playing Kyler and Devonzo at the same time if you have to?
Yeah, I think we're comfortable. I think Anthony's versatile offensively, and then defensively, I think it'll kind of be similar for those guys because, like you said, Robinson and Williams, they're both, 4-5s who can post up. Williams can shoot the ball, from 3. But, we'll be fine, I think, playing both those guys at the same time, or Siku, with Anthony or something like that.
I guess how can you take advantage with your lineup if you do try to play 4 guards? They're going to have to try to guard you as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be us. We're not going to change our identity offensively or defensively. We're going to play the same way. And hopefully the stuff that we've done over the last 4 or 5 months with the skill development and stuff we've kind of taught our guys on both sides of the ball will pay off. That Murray State presents challenges because of their length, size, and athleticism. But I think we can do some things that can be successful as well against them.
You talk about playing connected on defense. I mean, playing SEMO after just like 3 or 4 days, and then playing a Quincy team that had played the night before. how do you feel about how connected is your defense, do you think, right now?
We're becoming connected. We're not there yet. It's a day-by-day process. It's been like that since, July, August. But our goal is to be connected by conference play for sure and into February. But, our guys are buying in and they see it and they understand it. Even though we're young, we have a mature group. I mean, they take coaching. They know what it takes to be great. And they're putting in the work every single day. And that's what I'm most excited. I just think this team is going to continue to get better throughout the season because of how they approach practice every single day.
And you mentioned Anthony. I mean, he's a very unique player. Has he been, I guess, how close has he been to what you expected this year, Devonzo?
Yeah, I think Anthony's got another level. I think he's just getting comfortable. It's a new situation for him. First couple of games of the season, there's been in terms of quarantines and different things like that. So I think Anthony's still getting comfortable, but I think he's got another level that he could take himself that will really help our team. He's been, good in these first two games, but I don't think he's satisfied, and I don't think the coaches or his teammates are satisfied. So, Anthony's a hard worker, and I think he's got a high ceiling that he can continue to climb to.
And just talk about Tevin Brown, if you could. How much does his defense help their team? Tevin Brown.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think makes him so special is because he's, an elite shooter and elite offensive player, but then he's also, one of the best, defenders on their team and, definitely across the Midwest, just because he plays hard every single possession. So he's got great length, good quickness. He challenges shots, and he loves to get in the passing lane. He's got a great knack and feel to be able to kind of get those steals to get into transition dunks or steal layups.
Lastly, Duquesne announced they're going to play you guys on Monday in Indianapolis. What do you hope to do with that last game? How close are you to getting that last game?
Yeah, we're still exploring some options for Monday, but scheduling this year, it's like no other year, obviously, in college basketball, and it's so much changes on a day-to-day basis. So we just try to be flexible and, really just try to put our program in the best possible situation to have success when the Valley comes. And that's what we'll look to do with those last couple games.
I mean, so is that not a definite necessarily for Monday? Or is it?
Yeah, it's not a definite yet.
And then how late do you think you want to go? I mean, you're supposed to start conference play the 27th. What's the latest you would want to play? If Illinois called and said, we'll want to play on the 24th, is that too late for you?
Yeah, we won't play the 24th. I would probably say the 22nd might be the latest that we'd want to go again. You just don't know how these next couple of weeks are going to go with everything. So there is no definites or black and white in terms of the scheduling. But, I think we want to give the guys a couple days to get ready for conference and obviously over the holidays with Christmas and everything, and get prepared for Evansville heading into the first conference series.